Hello, my name is Marie, and I have another topic to discuss with you, and it's entitled After the Storm. Now, I have a few questions before we start. How many typhoons hit your country? Maybe there are only a few storms that hit your country. In my country, there are a lot. What do you usually do during a storm? And what is the meaning of typhoon? Okay, we are going to find the answer in a bit. Okay, so it's in the news that a storm just hit a few places. Okay, so I will start now. After the storm, millions of Americans had a hard time after Hurricane Matthew lashed the southeastern coast of the United States from October 6 to 8. The storm brought powerful winds and heavy rains to Florida, Georgia, South Carolina, North Carolina, and Virginia. Those were the 5 states that were affected. On October 9th, it turned toward the sea and was downgraded to a post-tropical cyclone. Matthew left a path of destruction and death in its wake. An estimated 2 million people were ordered to evacuate their homes as Matthew approached the region. More than 22 people in the U.S. were killed in the storm, with at least 14 deaths occurring in North Carolina. About 2.2 million homes and businesses in the southeast were left without power for days. Even after it weakened and moved away, Matthew's impact was being felt, especially in North Carolina. Heavy rains led to record-breaking levels of flooding in the eastern part of the state. North Carolina Governor Pat McCrory warned residents that the effects of the storm would linger for days. This is going to be a prolonged hurricane for us, even though the skies are blue, he said on October 10. Before reaching the U.S., Matthew spent a week sweeping across the Caribbean, striking Haiti, Cuba, and the Bahamas. Okay, so this is the picture. Okay, part of a road in North Carolina was washed away during Hurricane Matthew. Okay, the storm hit Haiti especially hard, causing at least 900 deaths and widespread damage. Devastation is everywhere, said Pilis Enner, a mayor of Camp Perrin in southwestern Haiti. Every house has lost its roof. All the plantations have been destroyed. Even 2 months after, nations and organizations around the world are still working to provide support and relief to Haiti during this difficult time for its people. Okay, so in the middle, if you're wondering how a hurricane forms, these are usually the steps in how a hurricane is formed. Okay, so hurricanes get their start over Africa. Okay, so somewhere here. When hot, dry air from the Sahara Desert meets cooler air from the Sahel region, small storms form. Okay, so that's how small storms form. Okay, so hot air plus cooler air. Okay, small storms will form. And second, crossing the Atlantic. Okay, so it's going to cross the Atlantic. So this is the Atlantic Ocean. Okay, crossing the Atlantic. Some storms remain small, but a few gather warm ocean moisture, speeding up as they travel west. So as they travel west, they get stronger. When bands of these thunderstorms form a swirling pattern, the system is called a tropical depression. Okay, so if there is a swirling pattern, okay, from the word swirl, okay, when you say swirl, you turn in a twisting or spinning motion. Okay, so that's what you call a tropical depression. Okay, so that's it. Okay, and that's how natural disasters are formed. They can be really deadly. Okay, and you have probably noticed this word. Okay, the word is destruction, and it means the act of being destroyed. Okay, and if we use it in a sentence, we can say, unusually high winds left widespread destruction over the sea. Okay, and before we end, I have a few comprehension questions. Okay, so the first is, how do hurricanes form? Okay, hurricanes form when hot and dry air from the Sahara Desert meets the cooler air from the Sahel region. Okay, the next is, how many people were ordered to evacuate? The answer is right here. 2 million people were ordered to evacuate their homes. The last is, what places were affected by the storm? Okay, the places that were affected by the storm were Florida, Georgia, South Carolina, North Carolina, and Virginia. And that's all for today. Thank you for listening. My name is Marie. Goodbye.